This is one of the units that I was really looking forward to, but just unfortunately with the release schedule, I just can't use my crystals to summon for him. However, some of you guys got insanely lucky and offered for me to use your Velzard in order to show him off, so huge shout out to the man Vitamin for allowing me to show off his Velzard today. His passive Realm of Red is going to be what gives you the 30% DR if you have 3 bleeds. He is a bleed character, but his bleed mechanic to me isn't something that is extremely annoying. It's pretty easy to get to 3 bleeds. As you see with the skill, he has Arch Gauge, and he also gives everybody more arts if the skill crits. On the art, this is what is going to be inflicting the bleed onto the enemy. The true arts are going to be what's giving you some attack and crit rate. Having crit is very good since it buffs up his skill. And the super art is where you get a massive fire res down based on how many bleeds you have on the enemy. If you have no bleeds, I will tell you right now, this super art will only do damage. In terms of the equip slots, we have a 5-star physical, 5-star magic, and a 4-star support. Best in slot, go with his true weapon. His true weapon is going to allow you to get a physical res down on the enemy and increase your bleed stacks if the enemy is already bleeding. For the 5-star magic, I would highly recommend that you go with Dark Hearto's true weapon, just so as soon as you get 1 bleed on, you can instantly get all the other bleeds. But if you don't want to do that, just anything else that's giving you Art Gauge will be really great here. For the 4-star support, Fin Aloha Shorts, Arc Ignite, any of those, and you should be good. In terms of the crest slots, I would highly recommend that you go with Art Gauge up, attack up, or since this guy is more of a critical attacker, you can throw in a crit damage buff in there. Now, when it comes to team building with Velzard, you can really throw this guy on any team just because he provides you with that 30% DR passively, which is what we did here. This team has so much defense thanks to Hero Saitama's defense slot and also just Hero Saitama's kit. Velzard's providing us with an additional 30% DR, so factoring in everything, we have no matter what around 60% DR all the time. Factor in the defense item and we have about 80% DR against this boss. Not only that, we decided to use Samurai Rimuru here just for the simple fact that his leader skill gives 20% DR for the first 70 seconds of a quest. So we're going to be pretty much invincible for the initial part of this quest. Getting into the quest, this is where it all comes together, ladies and gentlemen. We are wanting to use Velzard's art as soon as we can. As soon as we get off of Velzard's art, this is where you can use Velzard's true weapon to get another stack of bleed. This is also where you would use Dark Haruto's true weapon if you had it to get another stack of bleed off like that, and within the first 15 seconds of a quest, you already have 30% DR. After that, once you get your 3 bleeds onto the enemy, you can just start using Velzard's true art to be able to get your crit rate and attack up online, and then just follow up with your super art every single time you can, because that's what's going to be doing the biggest damage. He's very simple to play and very effective, let me say. As you see, this is Velzard against Velzard, and he works really well in this fight. And the craziest part is that a unit like this would be kind of bad if they didn't have the DR. Consider that he doesn't get a benefit at any other bleed level unless he's at bleed level 3, and everything in his kit is very self-centered. I'm not gonna lie to you, I am trying to find more stuff to talk about with his gameplay, but this is literally all you do. You just refresh your buffs and spam your super art, and you pretty much just continue this exact rotation until the boss is absolutely dead. And as you see here with the damage charts, look at that. He actually dealt very close damage to that of Hero Saitama, which is pretty solid because this boss is a bit tankier, especially with his defense and stuff like that. So if Velzard's crit ever fell off, he would be hitting like nothing. Next, we decided to take on the one and only Apostate Paladin Roy. This time though, we are utilizing a character like Shiro. Now, one thing I didn't talk about yet is how Velzard's passive DR stacks with other forms of damage resist. Like in the last run, we had Hero Saitama and Velzard. These guys can stack DR since Velzard's DR is passive and Saitama's DR is an active buff. The same thing with Shiro Emiya and Velzard. Even though both of their buffs are passive, it doesn't matter. They're not the same passive, so both of them are able to benefit from 30% DR from each of them. So the entire team right here has 60% DR right out the gate. The only reason why I use Shiro here and not Hero Saitama is because Shiro does have a 4-star heal, and he can help deal with a lot of the freezing Ultimate Paladin Roy does compared to someone like Saitama. But as you see here, we get our 3 bleeds, we're off to the races, and now with the barrier and everything else, we are taking no damage at all. We're getting hit for zeros. More than likely, it's probably just ones. The barrier's barely even getting ticked off. On top of this too, we even have Diablo's attack down, which we don't talk about this a lot, but attack reduction to an extent is a form of damage mitigation since you are reducing damage in some way. And yeah, literally we are practically invincible with this team. Then just like the last time, we get our bleeds, we get our true art off, and then we start spamming our super art with Velzard, and we keep that going until the boss is dead. The main thing that I'm trying to prove here to a lot of you guys is that Velzard is really the perfect 4th slot unit in the team. if you just need someone to kind of help the team survive, maybe give a little bit of arc gauge and just kind of hit hard by himself, he does that for you. The only time that I would be a little bit worried about throwing Velzard on a team would be if the boss has Demon Killer or just makes it to where demons can't do damage against said boss, since we do see those from time to time because Demon is one of the most popular races in Grand Summoners. Of course, I still do have a few gripes with Velzard, and it mainly comes just from his kit in general. I think this guy would heavily benefit from an attack ratio passive similar to that of Hero Saitama. Like if he had a 1% or 2% damage buff for each 100 attack that he has, it would exponentially increase his damage and he would hit so much harder. I also kind of wish that he had just a tiny bit more supporting stuff in the kit because his passive DR is single-handedly carrying this unit. If he did not have that, I'm telling you guys, no one would even glance an eye at Velzard. I wish that he would just be able to provide like an attack buff for the team, maybe like a crit chance buff or something else to just kind of help out. He has the fire res, which is dope, but just something else, man. Give us a bit more. I will say though, Velzard is a fairly older unit. This guy came out about a year ago in JP, and we just now got him in Global. So, you know, take that into account that we didn't have Hero Saitama back then. I'm not even for sure if Shiro Emi was out. I think he was. So there was a lot of like top tier characters that we have nowadays that maybe weren't there whenever Velzard initially released. Overall though, Velzard is a very solid character that is just a perfect final unit. If you don't know who else to throw on your team, just throw Velzard on there. You got the arc gauge, you got the crit, everything's great. If you're building a team just around him, that's probably whenever I'd recommend going with like the mono fire setup, because they're going to be able to benefit from literally everything that he does, and he's going to be able to benefit from everything they do. But if you just want to use Velzard just because you like how he looks, you love his SP artwork, which I won't blame you, that thing's freaking hot, just throw him on the team while you have some support units and go to town. Ladies and gentlemen though, tell me down below what you all think about Velzard. Do you guys love him? Do you guys hate him? I hope later on down the line I can maybe pick him up from an all-star summon or an AUX summon randomly, because I definitely would love to throw this guy on my team. But hey, you guys already heard my opinions. I would love to hear all yours down below in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, have a man check out this video right here. It's actually me fighting Velzard for the very first time blind. Click on that and I'll meet you over there. Oh, and one more thing before you leave, don't forget to drink water.